Yo, what is up, headhunters and executive recruiters? This is DSP, David Stephen Patterson. But then again, you should know who I am by now. So I am streaming this live into the Facebook group, or the Book of Faces as I call it. Specifically, I'm streaming this into the headhunter and executive recruiter community, hashtag the Herc. And I'm also going to be posting this out on YouTube, or the Tube of Views. So if you're on YouTube watching this, go join the Herc. If you're in Herc watching this, go subscribe to my channel. Right? We call that cross promotion. Anyway, enough of the shameless plugs. Let's talk about something that's actually a very serious topic, and that is, why are you in business other than the purpose of making money? So let me repeat that again, because it's a really important question. Why are you in business other than the purpose of making money? Now, look, I get it. We got mortgages to pay. We have kids to feed, right? Ferraris to buy. Well, I'm not buying a Ferrari, but you know, I'm not a Ferrari guy, but you know what I mean, right? We got crap that we need to get, and all that stuff costs money. But the thing about our business, and especially, you know, as this recession is looming, and for many of you folks who may think I'm negative for saying it, it is what it is. Sorry, it's just it's reality. But and in my live that I did yesterday, I talked about how it's really important for you to build a strong core business, right? A strong product with strong systems and a strong brand, and ultimately you build a strong team around that, and that's going to help you weather the storm, be the biggest, baddest lion on the Serengeti. And so when that recession ends, you can go build your bigger pride and get stronger on the other side, okay? And no amount of, you know, rah-rah, sis kumbah, you know, yes, you can do it. Sometimes you need the person who slaps you in the face and said, hey, you need to wake up and you need to make sure you prepare, okay? But the one thing I didn't go into yesterday, which I thought I'd go into today, is another key part of that is knowing your why. Now, I'm not into a lot of woo-woo type stuff, as many of you know. However, I am very big into motivation and into hacking your mind for success. And believe me, I know just being super motivated and a super hard worker and a super work ethic only will take you so far. Sometimes you need more than that, and you need a why, right? You need a purpose. Sometimes also for some very practical reasons as well. You see, here's the thing about business. Business is all about providing value. That's all it is a value exchange. And money is a byproduct of that value. I provide value to my client, and in return, they provide me money, right? Now, if I'm trying to go out there and just make money, and that's it, I don't care about the value, then it's a very poor way of doing business, and it can cloud the mind and cloud your vision. Now, at the end of the day, why are we doing this? Because, yeah, we like nice things. We like to make a lot of money. That's very true, okay? And for a lot of you folks that have got into search or have started your own businesses, you did it because you wanted freedom and you wanted money and all those things that come along with it. But at the end of the day, you need to really be thinking about what value you're providing your prospects. Sometimes when we go and we sell, you know, we're one of a bunch of recruiters, like we're selling the same things to everybody else, the exact thing as everybody else, right? Then it's very hard to get up out of bed and get motivated for this business. That's where a lot of burnout comes in. You know, Paul Littman just posted about this in the group a couple days ago, where he talked about, you know, he's in my program, he's now getting some retained searches, and he's just excited about it. He's excited about the business. And he talked about having gone through a lot of burnout. I've been through burnout several times in my career. Because at the end of the day, when you're selling a commoditized service, right? When you're selling, in essence, a head of lettuce, you see, I use this analogy in my program a lot. You go to the grocery store, you buy a head of lettuce. Head of lettuce is 59 cents, 69 cents, whatever. Head of lettuce next to it, exact same lettuce, maybe it's 10 cents cheaper, so you go buy that one. You don't care about the manufacturer. You don't care about the farmer. You don't give a shit about any of that. It's just a head of lettuce. And then somebody, some genius, I don't know, 10 years ago, however long, figured out, I bet you I can take that lettuce, chop it up, give it a good scrub, put it in a bag, actually even less lettuce, maybe a third or a quarter of the lettuce, put it in a bag, seal it, put some nice graphics on it, and jack that price up and charge 5 or 6 times, 7 times the price. And I bet you there are people who think, oh, you're crazy. No one would ever buy that. But now, look what happens. People go buy a bag of lettuce because it is a solution. It's the same raw material. It's the lettuce, okay? So think about what we have here. Think about your raw material. It's your ability to go out and recruit candidates. Now, for most of us, we're candidate brokers. We take the job description, we redact the client name, we post it on job board, and we call it a day. And we're not really providing a lot of value. Yes, there's value that we're providing, but the value is really no more than what anybody else provides. There's really no differentiation. And so, part of making your business stronger is not only creating a product that's strong, right? Creating a product, a real high level product, talking to your client's pain, figure out what the real pain is, and then create a product around that solves most of those pain points, right? For example, bag of lettuce, what pain does that solve? I mean, it'd be very apparent, but if you really dive in and dig deep at the people who buy the lettuce, it's usually the mom. Sometimes the dad, but usually that's the mom, whoever does grocery shopping, we'll call it the mom. So usually the mom, come home, she's got the lettuce, kids are screaming, things are busy, right? And and she hears stories online about E. coli and bacteria on lettuce. And so she has this thing in her head, like she really wants to make sure the lettuce is clean. Am I getting it clean enough? Am I really scrubbing it? What I need to do? And then here comes a solution where you don't have to chop the lettuce. It actually comes in. It's actually all the good pieces of the lettuce, not that little crappy core that no one eats. And it's scrubbed, and it's got the nice packaging and the logo, so it kind of gives that sense of trust, like, oh, okay, this is a good product. And you're willing to spend the extra money for a solution that solved the pain that 15 years ago people didn't really think about. People never really realized there's that pain, that underlying pain that bag of lettuce now solves, right? So think about the pains that you're solving and start thinking about, why are you in business? Because all business is an exchange of value. You're providing value. You're taking a prospect and doing something that gives them more value in the long run, and it's a different kind of value and a stronger value than what anybody else provides. And in exchange for that, they pay you money. Money is in essence a byproduct of value, right? Or a byproduct of providing value. So what happens when you have like a vision of your business, like you have a why behind your business? It does a lot of things. It helps you get up out of the morning. It keeps you from being unmotivated. It keeps you from being burnt out. I've been burnt out so many times in this business, it's not even funny. It keeps you from being burnt out. It helps you get up out of bed. It helps you close. Zig Ziglar, one of the great salesmen, one of the greatest salesmen in history, said selling is caring. If you care, you must sell. There's a story that Zig talked about, and I forget the exact details of the story, but it goes something like this. It's the difference between sympathy and empathy in sales. And that with sympathy, right, we like to sympathize with our prospects, but that's actually a bad thing. We need to empathize with them, right? Empathy is the rational, the rational realization, or the rational, in essence, knowing what the person's feeling, but without feeling it yourself necessarily. While sympathy is, somebody's hurt, I feel you're hurt. Okay? So the example was, his story was this. He's a young man selling, I think, cookware, I believe, door to door. And came upon an older gentleman or a couple, and this cookware literally is what they needed. I mean, during the presentation, they were, oh yeah, this looks great. And it was really solving a real need that they had. And he quoted the price to the old man. I said, old man, said, no, I can't pay it, son. So I've got that money right here in my pocket, but that money is going towards some indoor plumbing for myself and the missus. Because I've promised her for 19 years that I get indoor plumbing. I finally saved up enough money to get that plumbing. So, son, I would love to buy your product, but I can't spend it on you. And, Zig sympathized because Zig grew up very poor. Zig had used an outhouse and knew how it sucked having to go out in the middle of the night when it was cold or rainy and go use the outhouse. But so he sympathized. He said, no problem. I completely understand. And he went about his merry way until it turns out a few days later, I don't know, a few weeks later, whatever, but Zig is still strolling around that little town and he hears about that old man had been complaining about him. Didn't like him. He's like, asked why. He said, well, he keeps saying that if he really truly believed in your product, that your product would do him well, he was upset because you didn't sell him on it. Right? Because he sympathized, he didn't empathize. Now, the corollary to that is a story that Zig also tells about the young man selling a fire alarm to an older couple. Same sort of scenario. Quotes the price, and the couple just really thinks that this is a great project. We really need it, yada, yada, yada. But they say, look, we actually, my wife's in a car accident, a few weeks ago, and she totaled her car. We actually ruined the telephone pole. And the insurance company, they're going to replace the car, but they're not going to replace the telephone pole. And the city's coming after us, and it's going to charge $300 for the pole. And the salesman said, oh, okay, I understand, and that's really hate to hear that. Let me ask you, if there's a fire and your house burned down, what would happen then? Would you be able to, replace that telephone pole? And the couple said, no, if we had a fire, that'd be catastrophic. And the young salesman said, well, that's exactly why you need the fire alarm, sir. And he gets up and starts installing the fire alarm because he understood the real need and he was able to get past that person's initial objection. See, that's good closing. See, good closing isn't selling ice to Eskimos because they don't need ice, or maybe they do, I don't know, but they probably don't. But when you truly believe in what you do, you truly believe in your bones what you do, it helps you sell, helps you empathize with your prospect, not sympathize. Helps you empathize and to get past the blocks that they will almost always put in front of you because they almost always do. They almost always do. It's like the doctor seeing a patient who's overweight, right? Now, the doctor could be nice and tell the patient what he wants to hear. Oh, you're fine, just a little extra weight, but it is normal. It's still healthy. You can have a healthy lifestyle being 80, 100 pounds overweight. He can tell you that, sure, and he'll tell you what you want to hear, right? Because he's being sympathetic, but the doctor isn't sympathetic, right? Doctor's got to help you. And he'll say, he'll tell you that, no, if you want to see your grandkids, especially given these charts and your numbers and you need to lose this weight. It is death or it is do or die. You may not live to see your grandkids. You're on the path towards early onset diabetes. Tells him what he wants to hear, right? And that doctor truly believes what he says, so he has that conviction, right? So you got to think to yourself, what's motivating you to be in business, right? What is your why? Now, for a lot of us, it's money, right? One of the biggest planning tools is, okay, figure out what you want to make in a year. I may make $100,000 per year, okay, and my commission is, 33%. So if I want to make 100, I need to bill 300 grand. Okay, I need to bill 300 grand this year. This is my average placement, so this is the number of placements I need to make. Okay, great. What's my send out to placement ratio? Okay, figure out, okay, these are the send outs I need, and kind of going, all down the funnel and figuring out what your numbers are. That's great. And that's good to start out with. But money is still a very shallow thing to be motivated by, because once you make that money, oftentimes that motivation goes away. Or if you made it a couple of years, that motivation goes away, you know? It doesn't get you up out of bed this morning, and certainly doesn't rally the troops. You want to hire, if you want to build a team underneath you, it doesn't rally the troops. People don't get up out of bed to make their boss money, okay? Now, they might get out of bed to make themselves money, but they go through the hard times with you and with your team and with your company. They go through the fire when they have a vision, a mission, right? I told you yesterday about how you need to have a grueling fire that you need to get through, because that is your barrier to your competition. You know what gets you through that fire? Your fucking why, right? Now, granted, I know that many of us don't necessarily have the. We get in this business because we want to make money, right? We get in this business because we want to prove to our dad. Our dad said, I dropped out of college and he said it wouldn't amount to anything. Well, fuck you, Dad. I want to do it because I want to prove to you, right? All those things can be good places to start, right? It's look, if you're a young man and your girlfriend breaks up with you who you thought was the love of your life, because when you're young, everybody you're with is the love of your life, right? But the love of your life breaks up with you, breaks your heart. And you decide, well, screw her, man. I want to hit the gym. I want to get just jacked. I want to get super healthy. I want to be successful, make a lot. I want to show her. That's a great place to start. But ultimately, you want to get to the point where you transition from that into, I want to lead a healthy lifestyle for me. I want to get jacked and a six-pack and squat 500 pounds, which I'm not there yet. Joe Mullings, 435, but I'm working on it. But I'm gonna squat 500 pounds for me because I want to, because it feels good for me, right? And I want to go make a lot of money because now I want to do good in the world. I want to give to charity, or I want to do whatever, right? So think about in your business what your mission is. So if you're first year in the business, haven't even thought about this. You probably look at mission statements from companies you think that's like kind of lame, like, oh, that corporate gobbledygook doublespeak. Most mission statements are, honestly. But let me share it with you mine. So when in Kinetic Group, one thing that helps me is I really truly believe in what I do. When I put out content that sometimes ruffles some feathers, right? I put out a piece of content maybe a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, about working interviews. And I got flack. I got shade thrown at me from candidates in SAP about how they thought that a working interview is unethical. Or backdoor references. Again, some people think they're unethical. I've got flack for promoting that, but I believe in them, okay? Same thing with this. I get flack. When you get the negative comments, knowing in your head then believing in what you do helps you get through that, right? Like, look at my product Accelerator. I want to make the best product possible. Okay, I don't really spend a lot of time promoting it. I actually spend most of my time providing value like this, free value, a fuck ton of value. Right? And then in my product, I make it even better because it speaks for itself, which is why now I have students that are coming out of the woodworks. Oh my God, this thing's amazing, right? And not to toot my own horn, but you want to have that same philosophy. Like, create something so damn good, you're just undeniable. And when you do get flack, and you do get somebody who messages you and say, you shouldn't have said this, or, I didn't agree with that, it's just going to be kind of water off your back, and you have their opinion, and you can either just ignore it, or you can respond respectfully and respectfully disagree, and that's fine. You don't want to be negative back. I've done that. It helps you through those early times when you first put your content out there, and you get those barbs. Heck, I remember when I first was putting out videos to my coaching videos, I got a lot of flack. I got some people. I actually had a few recruiters, kind of accused me not even being a real recruiter, trying to sell my Get Rich Quick program. And then I also had some recruiters making fun of my shoulders. I remember this one girl in Australia. She's a recruiter in Australia. I remember specifically her, and she comments on my video, she ragged on me, like laughing, like, ha, you're moving your shoulders weird. It was the weirdest comment. I remember it specifically. So if you're that Australian recruiter who said that, I'll remember you. You're on my list. I'm just kidding. I really don't keep a list. I joke about my list, but I don't keep one. Because it's negative energy, right? But believing, like if I was a con artist, if I had a piece of shit program, then I would wilt underneath that. But I don't. I really truly believe it. And I now have people, a team that believe it too. They're willing to walk through the fire with me, right? In Kinetic Group, I believe so strongly in what I do. And so it allows me to close better. It helps me to deal with some of the negative comments that I receive at times, although it has decreased significantly, right? The more you put yourself out there, the more you get established, the less negative comments you'll get. But what I want you to do, if you're a business owner, if you're a small search firm owner, if you're an independent recruiter, if you're a first-year web behind the ears rookie just out of Danny Cahill training, whoever you are, I want you to put together your mission, right? Or your vision, rather. So let me give you mine. So the question is, first I get you to think about yourself. Why are you in business? Why does your practice exist other than the purpose of making money? That's the first question, okay? So, second question you have to ask yourself, right? In order to answer the first question is, okay, what's the problem? What's the problem? Now, think about what I talked about pain, right? You gotta have a real pain to solve. Well, okay, so think about what's the problem. What's the problem causing the pain? The core problem, okay? So here's my problem with the Kinetic Group that I'm solving. My problem is, and it's gotta be a gnarly problem. The problem is, I'm reading this here, good leaders' careers are being ruined through lack of ability to hire top performers, stagnating business, and hindering the forward progress of the human race. That's a gnarly problem, right? And I really believe that. Good leaders, people who are great leaders, don't know how to hire well. They're not taught. There's all these books about leadership, very few on hiring. You know, Recruit Rock Stars, so on hiring greatness, so on. But there were the few voices in the wilderness. So in my industry, my mission, one of my missions is to teach them how to hire and to give freely about that, right? So that's the problem, I think, and not having those right teams can hinder the human race, because what happens is some of these companies are kind of on the tip of the spear and progress. You know, what if there's a company out there that could cure cancer, but they can't hire the right people to make that happen? It hinders the progress of the human race. That is a fucking gnarly problem. Okay? So my vision, right? So that's the problem. Okay? So what's my vision? Vision is simply like, what's your direction? Like what you know, it's your steering wheel, right? So my vision is to foster true meritocracies that drive innovation and progress for humankind, free from the bonds of mediocrity that's exacerbated by our industry. What do I mean by that? Well, in our industry, so many service providers in my industry, right, body shop recruiters, you know, there's somebody meets the requirements 70% and they got okay communication skills, send them, and they constantly do that, right? And it's just mediocrity, right? And I believe it's ruining careers. So that's my mission. Now, what's my vision, rather, right? Now, as a vision. So think about, if you got the problem, and it's your vision, like it's your mission. Your mission is how you're gonna get there. Like, what are you gonna do about it? So here's my mission. My mission is to empower good and honorable leaders by showing them how to find, attract, hire, and grow the leaders of tomorrow. Because that's great leadership, right? Is being able to find, attract, hire, and retain, or grow the leaders of tomorrow, okay? That's the goal of a leader. And I help them do that. But knowing that I help good and honorable leaders. Because just because somebody wants to be a client doesn't mean I take them on as a client. I want the good leaders, right? I want the A-player leaders, right? The honorable leaders. So that is my mission. So you want to write this out and think about it. Have it on your desk and look at it. But always be thinking, what's the problem that you're solving? What's the gnarly problem that's causing all this pain in the industry? And if you're in an industry, even if it's a red ocean, there's tons of recruiters out there doing the same thing, but the pains still exist. That is a ripe opportunity for you to go in and say, you know what? I see these pains, and here's the real problem that's causing this, and all these other firms are kind of feeding into that same problem, right? So it's a huge opportunity for you to say, okay, I'm gonna be different. Here's the problem as I see it. Here's the real problem. Here's my vision for a better world in my industry. And here's my mission to go and actually achieve those things. And so when you're slogging in day out, you just had a deal close, you just had your best producer quit, and your wife just served you divorce papers, and you don't want to get up out of bed. You know, it helps you do that. Helps you get out of bed and rally the troops, even if you're the only troop. It's a troop of one. Helps you rally yourself. But also helps you attract the best of the best, because the best of the best, oftentimes, yes, they're motivated by money, but they're also motivated by purpose. And if you are going to be a leader in this industry, whether it means leading your clients, leading your industry, leading your team, hiring people. So many independent recruiters want to hire, and they're poor leaders. If you want to be a leader, you need a purpose, okay? And it's a purpose that you need to instill in your people from day one, right? And it's going to keep you motivated, and it's going to keep your team motivated, okay? So I just want to share that. Why are you in business, right? Why? And believe me, it'll help you through when the recession happens, and help you through and give you that vision. And when times are lean, right? It's even more important for you to have that vision so you can rally those troops behind you to drive towards that common vision, okay? So here's your homework assignment this weekend. So don't take time now out of your calls and do this, because that's a rationalization keeping you from the things that you need to do right now. But this weekend, go pour a glass of wine, play some light jazz, and quiet the world out and think to yourself, what is the ultimate problem that's plaguing your industry? What is your vision to, for a better world, if you will, within your industry? And what is your mission to make it happen? And imbue that with every single conversation you have, every single candidate, every single client, even if you don't actually say it, but you think it, you believe it, and it's in your head. It imbues you in the power in your voice, and just the way you come across, right? It's the juice. So that's your homework. And feel free to let me know in the comments what your mission, what your problem, vision, and mission are. Thanks, everybody. Peace.